Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is George Herrera with the Queens Home Team at Keller Williams Realty. Now in today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. Usually I'm answering a question like a they ask you answer type thing where trying to give some education to the consumers out there. But today I'm going to start a new segment which would be Homeowner Connect. This is going to be every once in a while, probably once a month, that I'll do a video designed specifically for local Queens homeowners and things that we think you might find valuable. We actually send a monthly email to all of the homeowners in our network. And every month we create this email with anything pertinent to homeowners in that month. So we actually just sent it out for February. And if you're not on our email list, then you wouldn't be getting that. But I figured why not do a video, and that way you can get the same information that we're giving to all of the local Queens homeowners in our network. All right, so with that said, all I did was pretty much print the email that we sent out and just gonna run down some of these items. Hopefully you find this helpful, especially if you're a local Queens homeowner. There should be some stuff in here that you find beneficial. If you have any questions, let us know. I'll put a link to our blog post with all the links and details from the email also in the description. Okay, so first thing that we mentioned in this month's homeowner email was our favorite Cleanout Company. So every once in a while, whether you're thinking of selling or not, it's good to declutter. A lot of times you have a bunch of junk in your garage or a bunch of stuff, just like us. We have a bunch of stuff in our garage, and every once in a while it's good to do a clean out for things that you just haven't been able to get rid of. We also, obviously, if you're thinking of selling anytime soon, it's always a good idea and always suggested to do a clean out, whether it's just a partial clean out for things that are creating clutter in the house, or if you're completely vacating the house and just doing a complete clean out. So either way, it's good to have a good clean out company. Our favorite people are Cleanco. They're based right here in Queens. You can just Google Cleanco, Queens, New York, or Cleanco, Cleanout Company, and you'll probably find their website. They have a bunch of good reviews. We actually found them through one of our past clients. We used to use other moving companies and other cleanout companies, should I say, and one day one of our past clients found this company, and after all the quoting out the people we were recommending and Cleanco came in with the most reasonable price. Ever since then, we've been recommending them, and we've only gotten raving reviews from clients and homeowners and people that have used them. They really like them. They're professional, they're reliable, and they do provide reasonable prices. So feel free to give them a call. I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to get their information. Now, the second thing that we covered in this month's email for homeowners is the Queens Small Business Grant Program. Now, this grant is designed specifically for small business owners in Queens. This is mainly for if you know anyone who owns a small business, or if you yourself own a small business, you might want to be applying for this grant. And we have heard of some small landlords actually applying for this small business grant program, because as a landlord, as an investor, you technically are also a small business owner. So you might want to look into that. I'll put a link in the description below also in case you're interested in that grant program, but definitely something good that's out right now that you can be looking into as a small business owner, or possibly as a small landlord too. Now, the next thing we mentioned was our new podcast episode. My buddy Daniel Ackerman and myself, we sat down earlier this month and we recorded our newest episode of our podcast, which is Real Talk with QHT. So on any of your podcast platforms, you can just search Real Talk with QHT and you'll find our podcast. We put episodes out weekly, always hyper local to the Queens real estate market. And in this one, being that it's February and 2020 is all closed out, we actually recapped all of 2020. We talked about every quarter in 2020, the different trends that we were seeing, the inventory levels, the supply, the demand, and we pretty much cover the whole 2020 market to see where we ended, and then we talk about projections and where we think the market is headed in 2021. So check it out. It's a pretty good one. I'll leave a link in the description also in case you want to take a listen. Now, the other thing that we talked about in this month's Queens homeowner email is an interesting article that I read about the multifamily market in NYC. So it's a really good article. They interview a longtime broker from Manhattan, but that does business in the other boroughs also, just has a lot of experience with the multifamily market, and talked about some really interesting stuff about what's going on with the rental market, the multifamily market, migrations, where people are going, what boroughs are holding up better. And he did mention in there that Queens and Brooklyn seem to be more resilient than Manhattan. That's not surprising, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff in there. So you might want to take a read if you own a multifamily or if you're thinking of buying a multifamily in Queens. Definitely a good read suggested. I'll leave a link to the article also in the description so you can check that out. All right. The other thing that we mentioned in this month's email is the tax tip that we got recently from one of the lenders that we know well. So we know, well, obviously we have our favorite mortgage lenders that we talk to all the time. One of them told us earlier this month that if you have anyone looking to buy a property this year, they may want to file an extension or request an extension for filing their taxes. Reason why is because if their 2019 and 2018 tax returns look good, but if for some reason their 2020 return won't be as good, then it might make sense for them to request an extension until October. I think it's until October that you can request an extension, and that way you can buy a property using your most recent 2 filings. Now, we're not accountants, we're not mortgage lenders, so we're just relaying advice that we got from one of the mortgage lenders that we know. Our advice would be that if you're planning to buy a property this year, or if you know anyone looking to buy a property this year, you might want to speak with a mortgage lender sometime soon, just to explain your situation and explain your tax situation also, and see if it makes sense for you to request that extension for filing your taxes. So definitely something to keep in mind if you are in the market to buy this year, or if you know anyone in the market. All right, and the last thing that we talked about in this month's homeowner email is the 2021 tax rates. I'm not sure if you've taken a look. I got this recently and I took a look, and the brackets did change this year. So you might want to look at the brackets, see where you'll fall, where you'll end up, to see what tax bracket you most likely will be in when you file your 2020 taxes. It's pretty interesting because I thought they would just be the same, but there actually are some pretty interesting changes to the tax brackets for when you file your taxes this year. I'll leave a link in the description to a full breakdown of the new tax brackets and the new tax rates, so you can download it and take a look at your convenience. All right, so for all you Queens homeowners, if you are a local homeowner, then hopefully you found some of this information helpful. Take a look in the description for a link to all those items that I was mentioning. And if you'd like to sign up for our monthly homeowner emails, I'll put a link in the description below also in case you want to sign up, and you can get on our email list so you get these every month. All right, thanks for tuning in as always, guys. If you have any questions, drop us a line, and stay tuned, and we'll put up another episode next week. Take care.